Yeah, I mean, I think I went from building this sort of I think like a small business that builds websites for other people, went to sort of like building my last company, for in the prop tech space where solo founder, I raised more than $20 million. And then Simplified now, of course, more than $10 million. The best way to run a business is a business that makes money. That's the best way to run a business. Every business should be online. If your business is not online, that means you're losing on sales, revenue, and all these things, right? Number one skill, I think, in making money in AI is copywriting. Very underrated skill. And I say this because every one of us here writes some sort of copy.
Interesting question for you.
What is it?
What's the weirdest prompt you've given to ChatGPT? If you are in your final year of college and you want to reach out to your dream company, what should be the template like?
I think the first thing is don't send emails. Anyways, I like those 4-color pens.
Yeah?
You seen those? Different color pens?
Yeah. The sign behind colors also. If you,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I was
I see it, yeah.
probably watching some content. This is Karishma Mehta from Humans of Public
Yeah.
was talking about how manifestation works when you write on a yellow paper with a red ink. I'm like, how does this work? And then
Yeah.
explain the science behind
Get some yellow papers for us. if that seems to be working.
What is this, tea or something? Water?
This is normal water. We'll get tea
This is
for you.
good. No, this is good. This is good.
This is normal water with the Chillar integration on it.
I know, man. This is
So this is just
this is great. So how long ago did you start doing this podcast?
a couple of months actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and we sort of try and get as many people as possible on the pod. Very diversified group of people coming in.
So fully in, this is your full time.
Yeah.
Wow. Content is become full time for so many people.
Yeah. How many people you've met in the content space though?
I think so, initially only. I think I met, 10 odd people maybe, 15? 10, 15 max. I think maybe 10-ish.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how long have you been in India for?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Where else have you traveled?
Mostly for work. I mean, Delhi to Mumbai, Bangalore to Pune, and then back and forth.
How did you find Delhi?
My family's there. I'm from Delhi actually.
You're from Delhi. Let's get to your introduction.
I grew up in Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah, and so my family's there.
Okay. Which part of Delhi?
Now they live in Noida.
Noida.
I was actually born in Delhi. So Delhi, my family's here. All of them. I mean, my siblings, mom, dad, and grew up in Delhi. They live in Noida now. So Noida is home.
How long have you spent in Delhi? How many years?
Man, not many actually. I think maybe 4 or 5 years in Delhi. So
This was
I-
like growing up years or?
So I actually grew up in India, in Delhi side. And I went to boarding school actually from my 4th grade to like 8th grade. So 8th, 12, so 6 years. I failed high school twice, like 12th grade twice. So that was like 4 plus 2. 6 years in Delhi,
What
yeah.
was your parents' reaction when you failed class 12?
Imagine.
Then and now.
Now is definitely, I think they've made peace with it. So my parents...
Have they? Finally?
They have. So my parents does not know. I think maybe they have an idea that I actually never graduated from college. Yeah. So when it happened, I think, of course, I was like the nobody, and I'll be cleaning toilets. That was the number one, and maybe you could become a peon, or maybe, watch guard,
Yeah.
and maybe driver, maybe, cleaning streets, whatever I can be, right? That is someone who's not educated can do. Is like I was labeled as that, basically, And my dad definitely had a struggle with it, right? Because and I understand, I think, actually I never thought about it deeply. My dad wanted to really study. He actually wanted to really, really study and be a really big police officer. I don't think I've ever shared that with anyone. And that deep desire for his kids to study and do well, and I think I absolutely understand why he wanted that. So I failed him at that big dream of his, right? He wanted to fulfill through me. And I probably would have been maybe a police officer, I guess, somewhere,
Yeah. Is that why you have like a stout body?
I don't know, man. I just work out, I love working out. There's a story behind that too, why I do it. So that was like, so failing was a big thing because it was like a big disappointment for my dad more than anybody. And I think that was like the the societal, right? And my cousins did way better than I did back in the days, of course. And that was like a huge success for them and not for me. So I think that he really hated the fact that I failed and didn't try enough. And my dad is a fighter, and he does business, and he's always failing and trying to succeed, and succeeded finally. So I think for me it was like, shit, life is over. I failed not once but twice. What do I do now? Like, that was it. And for me it was like, let's run away. Let's go to Australia. Seems like a good place, and I can maybe hide there for high school. And eventually my dad found out, and not very clever hiding stuff. So
Oh, you actually went to Australia?
no, I wanted to, so I applied, and
Oh.
I got accepted. So I got a letter at home, and I was not at home, and he just got the letter. And that's when he said, well, if you're going to go somewhere, then go to America.
Okay.
Because you cannot crack any exams in India. Like, you would be, I don't know, the worst college maybe might accept me. And that's what his view was. So he was like, if you pass, why don't you go to America? Because you don't belong here, because you can't compete with these really smart kids in India. So I kind of really ran away for that reason.
Where'd you go?
To the States.
Where in the States?
I went to Pennsylvania the first 6 months, and a random place called Erie. It looks like Lake Erie, there where no one goes. And for me it was like, why the heck am I here? I was the third Indian in the entire undergrad program. So people don't look like me, that they are American people in undergrad program. And I did not know a word of English that I can speak really well. So I could understand and I could write, but not like speaking was really bad. And I struggled with that for like 6 months. And then that's a different story for another day. But I think, but I met someone, and this guy said to me, he was like the Indian American. And he said, hey, if you want to be someone, you should be in New York. I just applied to New York, and I moved to New York. And I wanted to be someone. And then landed in New York, and rest is history.
Sweet, sweet. How was your friend's reaction when you sort of moved to the States? And how did you sort of make friends in a new country?
Damn, I don't remember, so long ago, 18 years ago now. But I think they were like very surprised that this dude can move to America.
Really?
It is like more like, if he can do it, maybe anyone can go to America, right? And that reaction. I think they were definitely very excited for me, actually, too. They maybe saw something bigger that I didn't see in myself. So at least two of my friends were very, very happy for me. And then over there, making friends was really, really difficult, because language was like a big barrier for me. Like, I just keep saying the same. I remember, actually, one of my friends would say, oh, I'm so sorry. Can you say that again? And she would keep doing this to me for like months. And I just had no idea. Why do you keep asking me, I'm so sorry. Sorry, come again. Sorry, come again. I'm like, maybe it's just a thing, maybe my accent is really bad. I mean, there was no accent, right? So, and finally she told me after years, hey, I actually couldn't understand anything you said back in the days. So like, it was just so thick, this thick Indian accent, and English was so bad that I'm like, shit, so making friends was very difficult. I didn't fit in. And there were so many small instances where I felt like, wow, this is like super weird, But anyways, I mean, I didn't focus on making friends for the first 5 years. I was just busy building my companies. And then friends and everyone came along after that.
Sweet. From where does that entrepreneurship kick in? Why do you want to build things? Why not do anything else? Why not create content? Why not run a podcast? Why not work for somebody
I wish,
else?
man. I want to start a podcast.
Yeah?
On the record,
Let's get you the podcast.
So I think so my dad is an entrepreneur. And I was actually really scared of being an entrepreneur, because I saw my dad struggle for almost over a decade, actually. And he had this I think this soul, I think this desire to succeed, this courage to keep moving on. And I think what he kept telling me all those years, over a decade failing, one day he'll make it, I remember. And I think I've never shared this with anyone either, publicly. And I grew up listening to him, that one day I will make it. And I was so scared of entrepreneurship, because like, if this is what it looks like, the struggle, I don't want to be an entrepreneur ever. So I think I was cut out to be a typical standard guy who would just go and get degree and get a job and be someone, I think I was that. But I think deep down my DNA was built for entrepreneurship from day one, because of my father, And one day he made it, and he made it decently big, and that was a spark. Like, wow, he was right. This is true. This can happen. You can fail for a decade and you can be successful. So this is what my version of entrepreneurship was like, that it can take a decade and you can make it. So that was a very different view of that anyone can ever teach you, right? So I was like, hey, someone asked me to build a website and I said I can do it. And that was the start of my entrepreneurial career. And I ended up building from my website to a company, and then from my first company to my second company, and my second company to my last company that I ran for almost a decade. And
Sweet. What was your first company about?
just building websites. We built over 200 websites. This is like 17-ish years ago.
How did you reach out to your first client?
I would just, first one reached out to me actually. They found me in my school and they said, can you build me a portfolio, like a photography website? Yeah. And then I would go to gyms in New York and I would find them online. They had no website, so maybe terrible website. I said, hey, your gym has a terrible website. I can make you a new one for this price. And that was a cheaper price than they could have found, right? So that was it. And then I ended up building a lot of gym websites. And then we built a lot of transportation websites. So I think we just ended up building a lot of websites in India and the US.
So how did you learn making websites?
I did not actually, just hired a team to do it.
Yeah? So how did you learn management then?
Just by managing people. So I failed terribly for a decade in managing people. And they've taught me some lessons that I think I could have not learned anywhere else. So I think I learned by doing it. Sometimes foolish.
Yeah.
You make more mistakes, you fall more. And it's a terrible way to learn, but I think it's also the best way to learn. So learn that way.
So you build websites for gyms and more gyms and more gyms.
Small
and
businesses, yeah.
How did you now, from building websites for gyms and other small businesses, to now having raised more than $30 million for Simplified, angel investor in 40 plus companies, being on Forbes 30 under 30, what's that one core trait that you find common in your journey?
Yeah, I think I went from building this sort of like a small business that builds websites for other people, went to sort of like building my last company, for in the prop tech space, where solo founder, I raised more than $20 million. And then Simplified now, of course, more than $10 million for this company. And the idea kind of has been like, if venture money is out there, can I actually go and try to raise money? And raising money was like, because I didn't have money. So like, if I'm going to run a company, I would either invest from my own pocket or my customer's going to pay me, or I have to raise money. I had no money and customers weren't paying me. So the idea was that, hey, for my last company, let's just go and raise money and see what happens. Simplified case is very different. I think we had a bit of some money, so you can bootstrap tiny bit of it. Customers were willing to pay, not from day one, but almost day one. But we had to raise money for that as well. I think that was like a new skill set, new experience to sort of see if you want to build a very large business and you want to build a large business very, very quickly, you have to raise capital. You can still build a large business without raising capital, but that's bootstrap, just takes longer. And it's more like a preference if you go this way versus that way.
They always say that the best way to run a business is the bootstrapped way. Thoughts on that?
The best way to run a business is a business that makes money. That's the best way to run a business. It doesn't matter if you raise money. If it doesn't matter if you run in bootstrap, they both have pros and cons. I think bootstrap means you keep all the equity, you keep all the upside. And it might take you longer. In venture capital business, means if you raise capital, you keep some of the equity and some is with the investors. You might just grow faster. I think regardless of what it is, the view is that any of these businesses should be making money, because most businesses never make money. So you can raise money, you can bootstrap it. I think if you don't ever make money, bootstrapping is the worst decision, because you wasted so much time and you never made money. You struggled all the way through, right? So I think if a business can make money, then you should figure out if bootstrap versus the venture capital route.
Interesting point you made there. I want to quickly bring in Simplified. What's the story behind the name Simplified?
It's crazy actually. I don't think we ever thought about like we should name it Simplified. We kept saying it like that. It's like,
let's make it simplified. Let's make it simplified.
Yeah, let's simplify your design. Your design has been simplified. Your design is simplified. Your marketing is simplified. We just kept saying Simplified so much. We said, like, can we actually name this company Simplified? And ironically, the name wasn't available. So we ended up taking like simplified.co that was available and cheap. And we said, if this company ever goes somewhere, one day we'll buy the domain name simplified.com. And we ended up buying the domain simplified.com.
Sweet.
And we paid a pretty hefty amount for that. But
How much
that
did you
was
pay?
6 figures, but we can't disclose. Definitely 6 figures, you know. And I'm glad we bought it early on. I was like big on it. I like reached out like, I think we should buy it now. This might be 7-figure value if I waited for too long. So it's like, let's make a deal now. And the Simplified has been the best decision because now we say it, hey, we'll simplify your marketing. Your marketing has been simplified.
What was the first prototype with Simplified? What was the first idea behind Simplified? What were you trying to simplify?
I think our idea, actually my co-founder built the company. So my co-founder actually started the company. It is not my idea. And we can go some other day and deeper how entrepreneurs see this and that. But for me, it was like I was transitioning out of my last company. I wanted to really build something in fintech space. I actually love fintech space. And fintech, especially in payment space, like payroll and all this stuff. And my co-founder reaches out to me. At that point in time, I'm running clubs on Clubhouse. And quite decent big clubs, like a couple hundred people who joined my club. And I started this community for like immigrant founders. And that was like a couple hundred people joined my Slack group. I was pretty active in like this. It's kind of like learning and kind of like as I built my next idea, it's taking like a sort of like a month, maybe transition time, breakish kind of stuff. And then my co-founder now and my friend back in the days, he just reached out to me and pinged me after years. And then, hey, you know what, I have this idea. What if people can build presentations and designs and graphics easily? Drag and drop. I said, like, this is amazing, by the way. I know the Canva is out there, but this is simpler. We should do it. So he ended up doing it. And I ended up becoming one of the first few investors in the company. And I invested a couple of $100,000 in the company. And that was the journey where I was like, hey, I'm invested. My skin is in the game because the money is there. And we just kept chatting every day. And we were like, you know what, let's just join forces. And we're going to build a company together. So that's the really simple, fast story. And the idea has evolved from sort of like, let's just design graphics to how can we help teams, creators, to actually build the entire marketing campaigns and publish them online. Because such a hassle to use multiple apps. We have to do graphic design, then you do video editing, then you do write copy for all these marketing campaigns. And when it's all done, you export and then you import and then you have to do social media scheduling,
I actually want
right?
to bring
This is
in
so much.
just like a testimonial of sorts maybe. But it's actually made the process a lot simpler because when I used the app and the platform for the first time, I was like, something like this is possible?
Yeah.
Because I was just, for creators like us, we need to sort of sit and script, shoot, edit, post, also schedule. Sometimes we just script, shoot, edit, but we forget posting.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
what if there is a schedule button where we just connect things on the platform and the platform just posts it on my behalf?
Yeah, we do it. I mean, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you see social media marketing or content change maybe with the advent of AI coming in and a lot of tech coming in of late? How do you see content creation or social media management change in the next, say, 5-10 years?
I mean, I think of this idea, just think about how many businesses are not online. If you start today, right? I mean, every business should be online. If your business is not online, that means you're losing on sales, revenue, and all these things, right? So I think, and a question I ask myself, like, how many businesses can actually go online? I think millions around the world. All over the world, there are millions of companies, small businesses, medium size, whatever that is, right? That are not actually online. And online doesn't mean that, hey, I have a website and I'm like, I have an Instagram account, but I never post. Online really means like you're active online. You're actually engaging with the community. It doesn't matter how small, how big that is, right? Because people should be able to find your product, services, engage with you, interact with you, figure out the brand connection and community connection, whatever that is, right? So that's what I mean by online. I think so with the AI coming in, I think these businesses will go online faster. And more of these businesses are going to go online way faster. Because now content, even like if you think about like pitching to a business. If you run an agency, a marketing agency, one of the biggest things that stops you from growing your client base is because you have to reach out to more businesses and you have to actually pitch more ideas. With the help of AI and using especially Simplified, right? You can actually do more concepts, you can pitch more clients, and you can close more clients without actually increasing the size of your team. So now you were able to do from planning the content, creating the content, publishing the content, all within Simplified. So that's how I think companies will grow faster. But overall, I think if it's a small business with limitation on the size of the team, you have this sort of imagine like you hire this one person who's a marketing, sort of you can call like starting point expert, marketing manager. You train this marketing manager with the AI tool, someone like Simplified or any other tool, right? In this case, they can create all the content by themselves without the need of like hiring a graphic designer, like a video editor, adding subtitles, trimming the videos, right? Like, trim and merge and match, right?
That's
a hassle, right?
You're solving for a really big problem there.
100%. And then you write this copy and then social media management. So you have to hire multiple people. It's a small business. In this case, you have this one person that uses AI and becomes this. All the tasks you can do is done by one person and grow the team afterwards once the company is making more revenue and bringing in more business.
Got it. So another pertinent question that I have in my mind right now is, you mentioned it becomes very easier for small businesses to sort of use the platform and just train one person for the marketing and get done with.
Yeah.
Can larger MNCs also use the app because they have bigger marketing teams? They have bigger they essentially have departments, and they essentially also outsource a lot of things to other companies who handle the work better. So can that be used in larger MNCs as well?
So we saw two problems starting Simplified. One was small businesses often have no resources or maybe less resources, and they're struggling to pay for 5-6 tools, 5-6 people to get this marketing campaign out of the door. Now the bigger companies have a very different problem. They have all the resources, all the money, but they're sitting in side loads. Most often they're using multiple apps and tools that actually ends up being workflow overkill. That means files are lost, too many processes, too many back and forth emails, communications, just all this like sort of like a mess with the data as well, right? So you're like, okay, how can we help both of them? And if they use this one platform, right, one app, teams can seamlessly collaborate in real time to go back and forth on the feedback of marketing campaigns. Designers can work with the social media managers now. Video people can work with the copywriters now. It's all happening within that. So it does support MNCs or enterprise, also small businesses. Excuse me.
Sweet. Mohit bhai, can you just please close the door of the room?
Yeah, this scratch in my throat that's been happening all day.
You want warm water?
No, I think I'm good. Oof. I'm trying.
Do you want coffee? Do you want?
No, I'm good.
warm
I'm just
water?
like, it's been like since morning. I feel like something stuck in my throat, but it's good.
All right. What do you usually prefer? Chai, coffee?
No chai at all.
Why no chai?
Black coffee, sugar.
Sugar?
Yeah.
You're off
Chai.
sugar?
Yeah.
For how long?
It's been 3 weeks now.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
What's the change that you see?
High energy. Like I'm actually on 3 hours sleep today. Taking
3
naps.
hours sleep a day.
Right now, at least for today. Like I think my body, I'm still pushing through it because of my food actually. Like I actually have enough, like I can sit and I can find energy in my body because I'm just eating really good. No bread, no carbs, no sugar. Very structured, disciplined with how I eat my food as well. Yes.
And when did you start taking fitness seriously? Or have
3
you always been
3 weeks ago.
everything 3 weeks?
I mean,
So since you came back to India?
So, yeah, actually, funny enough. So, a few weeks ago, I went for my yearly checkup, and I got pre-diabetic, and I'm high LDLs. So I'm like, okay, this can be cholesterol is high. I can be diabetic. What can I do? Okay, quickly, let's leave these two things and let's figure out how health can work.
So you're not eating anything, the tasty pani puri from Mumbai, the golgappe from Delhi?
This is the only trip I haven't had the paratha yet.
Yeah?
Or the puri yet, or the chole bhature yet. None of this stuff.
Should we get you chole bhatures?
No, I would not eat it. I want to live. But I have been actually working out. I used to weigh, when I first moved to the US, I weighed 117 pounds. I was a very skinny kid where you could see all the bones in my body, like that skinny actually. And I was very self-conscious, like one of those things you can't make friends. You just really overcritical about everything, and then the confidence like super low. And I decided to change that by I'm gonna take it in my hands to work out, and I just love working out. So I've been working out since then. I'm on and off for years. I can go out for months.
How do you work out when you're traveling?
Just do my push-ups, my sit-ups, and my abs 10 reps squats.
How many push-ups can you go now?
50, 75.
That's at one go.
50 one go, yeah.
It's gonna take me a while to go 50.
I mean, I think about like very simple way,
I can go 5.
But if you do it every day, I have a very
7.
founder mindset in everything I do in life. It's like I have to do it well, and I have to be consistent. I really believe in that. I started actually with post-pandemic with 3 push-ups or 5 push-ups actually, and I would do it every day from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. It's been 2-3 years now. I can even do 100 if I take a break. Three sets I can do it. So just do them every day before going to bed, even if it's 5. Waking up if it's like 10, 20. Yeah, I just do
Thanks,
it.
that helps.
Yeah.
I want to quickly segue into maybe some of your case studies. Maybe some companies that have used the tools. What's their feedback been? Any sort of changes that they've seen in their workflow? Anything.
There's one or two use cases. The one I like the most, actually, my favorite one is this is one company the similar company that uses us, but this one company that is solving the problem using AI is they run this marketing agency, and it's a very different agency actually. It's not like we'll do your social media marketing, custom, blah blah blah. So they have this plan. If a business wants to go online, they'll sign up on this plan. It's $99 plan where you give you 4 posts per week.
Okay.
Standard cookie cutter. I'll give you 4 posts per week. We'll manage 3 channels. You pay me $99 a month. They have over 100,000 clients. They pay them $99 a month. So now you can imagine what the revenue looks like.
I'll let a friend of mine calculate.
So when they came to us, the solution they were looking for was that we want to do all of this using AI. They want to customize content for each and every client to the level that each and every piece of content feels like the business. So with AI, what you can do, and especially using Simplified, what you can do, you can set up a brand book and tell the AI, this is what my brand looks like. AI will write every piece of content based on that brand every single time on point. And you can, of course, improve it more. So now you can go from like telling the writers again and again what the brand is and tweak it. AI can now automate that 100,000 clients data. And I think that is very powerful. You can do this for 100 clients, 10 clients, or 1,000 clients, or 100,000 clients.
Is there an upper limit to it?
I don't think so, actually, right? Because you can do it for millions, but I think it's hard to manage so many clients and brands and whatnot, right? I'm sure they can do this, automate to millions, of course, as well. But the idea has been can you build something so simple? That's a very basic, simple service that helps both the parties. The business feels like, hey, I am online. I might not be growing or whatever, but I am present online. Because I think one thing people forget, there's this trust factor when it comes to running a small business. Small business actually means if you see me online, you find me online, can you trust me? I'm small, I don't have a lot of resources. So how do I actually compete with bigger companies? By being available online and saying, you know what, we're a small company, small business, but we do our job really well. If you go online, you'll find good reviews about our business. If you go online, you get to see some of our patients, customers, stories, case studies, all online. You feel like this business is alive and thriving, and I want to partner with you. Then seeing a business that is like completely dead online feels like, are you still available? Yeah. If you ask a question to a small business that, are you still available? You've actually already started on the wrong foot.
Wrong foot, yeah.
So I think that's what this simple business can do for you, like running a small marketing agency that just offers this $99 service for anyone. And I tell people actually, why don't you reach out to all, let's say, biryani places in Delhi? And we specialize in writing content for all the biryani restaurants, right? Each
Sweet.
location is very different. Each flavor is very unique. Each owner has a story.
Right.
And I can write content for every single time, for every single brand, to the point, using AI. And that's going to be your go-to for scaling the content and making money.
Sweet. Ajay, how easy or difficult is it to build an AI tool?
It depends what you want to build. I think building the moat in AI is the hardest thing. And almost like moat is like, how do you make people stick to your product? How do they keep using it, and why should they keep using it actually? So anyone can build an AI company, a short answer, because you can take an API from OpenAI, Bard, Facebook, spin out some no code, but you can do only basic things. You can't do like AI designer. That requires hardcore engineering skills. And I'm sure like a year or two, we've been building this for 3 years. And I still feel that there's so much room to grow. There's so much to do that our job has just started actually. So I think it's really difficult to build a solid, deep, foundational tech AI company. It's very easy to build no-code AI company that does solve even bigger issues actually. So I wouldn't discount that. I think people should try building no-code AI apps because those are easy to build and you get to experience what AI looks like. And I think it's also like the world is revolving around, you got to be an engineer to build something. I truly believe that, even though I'm an engineer, everyone should be able to bring their ideas to life. And especially the people who are not engineers, because they might be super creative, they have this idea, they can solve the problem, then why not use no code as your sort of the go-to tool to build your business without depending on someone and without feeling like, hey, I'm helpless and I can't build something.
How long does it take to build an AI tool?
No code might take you
No code, yeah.
maybe 48 hours, 24 hours max. I mean, 48 hours max, 24 hours at most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, one of the questions that I can think of right now, because the mind works in mysterious ways, right? There's a lot of AI tools out there. Say if you want to solve for graphic designing very quickly, if you want to solve for YouTube thumbnails very quickly, if you want to solve for, say, the description of this particular podcast, just go to Simplified, write it, and we'll give you a description, right? How do you know which platform to trust for one particular domain? Say, for example, I want to build a thumbnail for my YouTube videos. There are like thousands of tools out there. There's Canva. That's, I don't know, let's not get there. There are like hundreds of tools out there that sort of gives you that option. How do you trust that one thing, and how do you sort of build a moat like what you guys do?
The way I think about that problem is we focus on workflow. Okay, so I go online and search for like, hey, I want to create a thumbnail. The question that we ask ourselves, what would you do with a thumbnail? I literally ask my team, and of course my team, same thing, me and my co-founder, like, before asking to solve the problem, what would you do with a thumbnail?
Mm-hmm.
You would attach this to on some YouTube channel. You must be building some YouTube video. You must be doing some short form content like Reels or TikTok and whatnot, right? So the question is, do you want to do from one app to the other? You stop hopping around. My thumbnail comes from this app that I paid like $1 or something, or maybe a couple of bucks, right? Or maybe free, maybe some watermark. It's a struggle. Then you take that thumbnail, you go to some other app where my video is sitting. Then you take that video and the thumbnail. Now you go to some other app where I have to post on social media. Then you go to some other app to write captions and keywords and title for that video. So you kind of been hopping around instead of actually getting the job done and do it effectively. So those are the questions we ask ourselves at Simplified, and we believe that the core of the problem should be solved, and that is the workflow. That when you come to Simplified, you should go from that thumbnail to that video in Simplified already that has been subtitled for you or trimmed for you, whatever that you want. And from then, they're exact the same place. You can actually post that to social media. And not even post it, you can actually track how the performance of the video is using Simplified analytics, yes. So we give you end-to-end, multiple apps.
A to Z for content in social media.
A to Z for content creation and social media, yes.
What's the most common question you get at Simplified? What's the most common FAQ?
Oh, is it free?
Go for it.
I mean, it is free. It's free. I think people want more free, so they ask like, what are the limits, right? Most common question. And there's so many questions people ask. Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I change text? Can I animate? Can I add backgrounds, layers, gradients, waves? Can I trim the video? Can I compress the video? I mean, there's so many of them, right? Very basic, but the biggest question is like, is it truly free? And we are truly, truly free. We actually are one of the only companies in the market that gives you literally, for one of the apps like AI writing, free monthly AI credits per month. Most companies do not do that. We do support a lot of creators and freelancers to truly use Simplified. And our video tool and design tool and social media as well. Truly free. You get up to 3 channels, truly free. Connect 3 channels, don't pay us a dime. Keep using it, keep scheduling. It's of course limitation, but you can definitely build your personal brand using $0 in Simplified.
Sweet. I think most of us users want a lot of things for free. And as soon as you tell them that you got to pay like $5 a month, they sort of look for free apps, and the most searched word probably on the internet would be free. Like, how do I get this for free? If you're just buying outside in the market, buying Coke, I want a packet of Lay's free with me. So the free usually sells. But do you also have like a subscription plan? And my point behind asking all of these questions is, when you're building a business, you want customer acquisition, you want user acquisition, and users essentially want most of the things for free. At what point do you feel that this is where I need to start charging to give more and more features to them? And how does that pan out? How do you see the users change from, say, free to paid? If you have a statistic or so in mind.
I say this, maybe this is, you should charge from day one. There's no such thing as that I should go from free to paid. No. You have paid and you have free. Or you have only paid, or you have free and paid.
So freemium doesn't work in your
freemium works actually. It works, but that's what I'm saying. Free and paid.
Okay.
There's no such thing as that, hey, today let's start for free. Tomorrow let's figure out paid. I don't believe in that. I believed in that in my last company, and that did not work out well for me. Company did well. It took us just way too long to figure out the money. And I wish I did that sooner. It's the same thing almost like, if I am going to offer my service, it can be as an intern, it can be as a college student, it can be my first job. If I'm going to join something and do something for you, I need to get paid. I just need to get paid. Same thing as building a company, as a software company, is you need to charge people. In our case, we have been charging from day one. Like I'm saying, the day we had the account, that if we can charge money, that day we charge the money. And we definitely believe in that. There's a free user base, there's a paid user base. And our strategy has been, we definitely want to impact millions of people, like hundreds and millions of people should be using Simplified. That means people should be building their brands, growing their businesses, and everything we can imagine. That means, why don't you come, start using it. As you grow, let me align myself with your growth. So thought process, like, if you have 3 social media accounts, you must be building a brand, just starting out. Use for free because you're not making any money. But the day you have the 4th channel, you must be making some money. Or you must be at least serious about this thing, right? Why don't you pay us some money? We'll give you the 4th channel. So like, we want to grow with the consumer, with the customer. So we're aligned as partners in your growth as a customer. So we can also support that by charging you some money. So Simplified is built really around that value system where we're here to add value at every single touch point. And that's how we make money. So you can use it for free. Once you're ready to grow, you buy our pro plans.
Sweet. I think there's nobody out there who doesn't want to make money. And especially young folks who are or who will be watching this episode as well. Yeah. They'll probably want to listen this part where I talk about how can they make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to quickly get your thoughts on what's that 1 or 2 maybe high income skills that youngsters should essentially work on in this time and age where there is AI, there's tech, there's so much happening. Maybe 1 or 2 tools or 1 or 2 things that they should work on.
And I do want to touch base on that last thing you said about like making money. And I think that this is for the young people. I think I see that a lot of young people sometimes shy away from asking for money. They feel like, I'm in college, I don't know anything, I just graduated, should I be asking for money? Hell yeah, you should be asking for money. Ask for that money. You should be asking for money because that's your right. You deserve that money. So develop that mindset that I'm not going to do anything for free. I might charge less. I might get paid less today because I don't add that value, but I need to get paid because that's where the value system becomes equal. So I think young kids should not shy away from actually asking for money. They should be bold in asking money. And I think good founders, good companies do appreciate when you ask for money. Like, I actually respect people who ask for money. If someone comes to me and asks me like, hey, no, I think I deserve this much. And I can ask them, why do you think you deserve this much? Back that up. Have an answer for that. And if you can answer that, I can say, you know what, I should respect you for that. That means you're worth more. If you deliver on that promise, then you know what, you deserve more money. We'll give you more money. And the way young people can actually make money, today's generation, right? Like, AI is everywhere. I want to make money. Number one skill, I think, in making money in AI is copywriting. Very underrated skill. And I say this because every one of us here writes some sort of copy.
What is copy?
Copy is simply writing words for something, right? You're writing an email, you're writing something for an ad, you're writing a blog post, you're writing an article, you're writing a story, you're writing a social media post, whatever that is. You're writing a job application, you're writing a cover letter, you're writing an essay, whatever that looks like. You're writing some sort of copy all day long, even text messages, right? So that is copywriting. That can be now fully done using AI. All of these things I said and 1,000 more can be written using AI. So how you can become sort of this expert in writing copy using AI for a specific niche, I'd say. If you say that I write articles only for, let's say, logistics industry, or maybe let's say running shoes. I love running shoes, and I only write articles about running shoes. Then I find companies who actually are selling running shoes. And I say, I am an expert in writing copy for running shoes. Here's some of my articles that I've published online. They're all using AI. You can be upfront about that. I want to help you grow your brand, and I'll be willing to work with you for blah, blah, blah. That's it. You reach out to companies. That reach out would also happen using AI. So if you go to LinkedIn, Twitter, any other platform, right? You can use AI to write that, reach out, message
that
using
template.
AI. Yeah, that template. And then you reach out to everyone and make it very personalized. So that's the one skill. Second skill that I'm seeing now that is growing dramatically is actually social media marketing skill. You're helping founders build their brands. You're helping small businesses build their brands and grow their businesses. That is very simple. You take a business. Also, I would say go niche actually. And whatever the store looks like, business looks like, let's say flooring business, right? Or maybe whatever, like maybe furniture business, right? Then you reach out to all furniture businesses. Hey, I actually have studied a lot about furniture, about your business, types of businesses, and I write social media copy for this type of business. And I also publish to your social media channels. So like you're publishing and creating and planning content. So that is highly valuable. Charge a very minimal fee and just build more clients on top of that. Two skills that does not require any expertise. Two skills you can do in college today to make money.
Sweet. I think especially if parents listen to this, it'll probably help build more careers, because there used to be a time where there used to be degrees required to make money. Now it's basically majorly skill based, where you just learn a skill.
Yeah.
And I feel I have a thesis in mind which says that one hard skill can make you core money.
Yes.
One hard skill, whether if you're a DOP, you are a designer, you're a director, you're a musician. If you're a musician, your core skill is music.
Yeah.
Those ancillary skills will just complement you in getting there, but that one core skill. So I think this becomes pretty helpful for people out there to make money, especially for parents. If they listen to it, they're like, "Arey, copy hota kya hai? What is copy?"
I mean, parents can maybe use it in their job.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Get exposed to AI. I think sometimes, you know what it is, like maybe the kids can.
How can parents use AI?
I think parents should kids should expose their parents to AI. Like think about what their job they do and then teach them, hey, this is how you can use AI. And that like opens them up to, oh wow, this is like something I've never seen before. Something that can really do some magic actually, right?
Ajay, I have a very interesting question for you.
What is it?
What's the weirdest prompt you've given to ChatGPT?
I don't know, man. I usually like it's kind of funny. I think, okay, it's like, so I have a schnoodle, one of my dog, schnoodle, and I would usually like draw a lot of images of him and just telling, sort of like the schnoodle turning into Batman, the super dog actually, right?
Yeah.
Turning into super dog, flying through New York, going to Mars and playing fetch with the ball. So
You've actually given that prompt?
I've given the prompt actually. So I do these things like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fan of like these sci-fi movies. So my prompts come from either Mars, space, or sci-fi, sort of flying and superheroes and whatnot. There's a lot of those. But you know, prompting actually is one of the things that you can really customize for. I've done is I can take a company that I want to reach out to this company XYZ, and I want to reach out this person in the company, so their LinkedIn and their Instagram and their Twitter, and I want to personalize this email to them for selling my company, my products, this, and written by me, and this is my profile. So you can go really extensive in that.
How deep can you go in this?
There's
Can
no-
you also mention their date of birth, their kundli and everything?
If you want to, you can mention that. You can go as
Yeah.
deep as you want, yes. But I'm saying is that they will fetch all the data, customize everything to that need. You can even say, I want them to feel this emotion. And my goal is to get this out of them. You can go as deep as you want and really personalize, hyper-personalized content for each and every individual at scale. The thing with AI is not for one person. I can reach out to 10,000 people just with this strategy. Every single piece of content would be written just for you, just like everyone else.
So again, another point that I'm sure young people will resonate with. Say you are a college, you're in college, you're in third year, you're in final year, you're looking for jobs right now. You want to apply at jobs, right? And most of the emails that I get have the weirdest emails that I've gotten is blank body with the entire email on the subject line, and that too addressed to the wrong person.
Yeah.
So it's just copy pasting emails and just
All
sending
day
it
long.
all across. If you are in your final year of college and you want to reach out to your dream company, what should be the template like?
I think the first thing is don't send emails.
Okay.
Do not send emails if you want to get a job.
Okay.
Sending emails does not get you a job. Maybe it does. I don't know of it, you know. But definitely if you're in final year of college, one advice that I can give you is actually find the companies that you want to work for. Find the people you want to work with in those companies. Reach out to those people directly via Twitter or LinkedIn. And say, hey, I'd love to pick your brain, or I read something that you wrote, XYZ, and I love this part of this one. I'd love to touch base on, expand more on that, what you said. Or this is my view and I connect with your story. Something very personal about their life, or something about what they've published online, or generally just seeking feedback and advice and mentorship from that person. And offering maybe I can add this value to your company. You're going to work with these people anyways, and why not just connect with them?
Right. Right.
And then you can send an email. So that personalized content can be written using AI, absolutely. But be very careful with who you choose, because you do it one by one. Really connect with those people, and then you'll end up getting the first job. I think getting a job is more about getting inside the door. Let's keep standing outside. People do not get this concept. It's like when you're a college kid, you literally would be banging on doors after doors to get in.
Yeah.
And you trying to get in with all these demands and asks when you have nothing to offer, at least in the eyes of the company. So you want to prepare something and offer something that lets you inside the door. And that can be just a meeting for 15 minutes, advice or mentorship. That can be a comment on their post,
Right.
multiple comment on their post. Once they say, yes, I can talk to you. Now I'm inside the door. And now I'm in the building. Now we can have a conversation. Now we can talk all about what we can offer for value. What are you looking for? How can I be of assistance? Blah, 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 and whatnot. Now you have someone to talk to. So focus on getting inside the door if you want to be successful.
Have you looked up for dating advice on ChatGPT?
Yeah, my wife would definitely kick me out of my house. So I haven't done that yet. And if I want to get kicked out of the house, then definitely I would look for that.
Sweet. Quickly, a couple of more questions. Has there been any case of misuse of AI?
You know, not that I know of, but I think AI in general can be used for so many things, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that I read online about avatars and maybe voice cloning and video making and image alteration and whatnot. I'm sure this is happening, right? I mean, this is happening at scale, right? And I think the way I think about AI and misuse is that if someone is misusing it, and you have technology to misuse it, someone is also incentivized to stop from misusing it. It's like the same coin of two sides, right? With two sides. And I think that is that if something makes financial meaning to offer a service to do these things, then there's also a service that offers financial meaning to stop it. It's like your true caller. You can call someone, all the spam in the world, and there's a device or service that can actually tell you who's calling you. I think that's the crux of it. That's the simplest way I believe in it. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of things happening online, but I think those two things stand out for me.
Another point that I have is security and privacy. There are a lot of tools out there that I come across, a lot of free tools. I'm a little skeptical of whether should I use it or not. Will my data be compromised? I mean, nobody has the time to read those agreements, those like 10-page odd agreements, and just click on, tick the box and just click on I agree. How do I ensure that that security is intact and privacy is intact? And how does maybe if you can bring in Simplified's case, maybe in that case?
I mean, I think privacy, it's a big question, and I think it's improving every day, The big thing is, I think there's a lot of like GDPR, of course, in California has a strong law against it, right? Privacy and whatnot. But I think in AI, it's so early that I think it's very much like a new elms. Things are still being developed to address all these issues because now they're issues. So I think you got to be careful when you go online. I think make sure when you use an AI service, go and read reviews online, the best one, right? See if they're featured somewhere or something. See if how long the company has been around for. So you get basic information, basic digging actually, what makes sense for you, right? And as simple as they use Google login or maybe like a OAuth or something, right? Like very basic, simple things that you can figure out. There's not much you can do at this stage, I think, other than being very careful with your data. Whoever you give your data to, keep a record of those things, But I think these things would be addressed and keep getting better as AI progresses as a whole. But there's no short solution today that I think.
There's an interesting website I came across where you can check if your data has been misused. But the flip side to that is that website could also be like a data mining machine.
100%.
Where you're putting in your email to check if that email has been misused or not.
Yeah.
And that website that is doing all of this could actually be collecting all the emails.
All the emails. So I think you have no idea. So don't give your email there, I guess, of course, for sure like that. But I think one of the use cases that we do solve for in Simplified is if you write something on Simplified as a copy, as a text actually, we do have a tool that can check for plagiarized content. So you can check everything you've written on Simplified that has this been plagiarized. So that is one simple way to figure that out. And if it's been plagiarized, you go and change it or rewrite it and you're good to go basically.
It comes in very handy for university students. I remember when I was in the UK last year and I was not prepared for writing dissertations because I hadn't done this earlier.
Yeah.
And I was writing dissertations and when I submitted the draft, I was like 35% plagiarized content and I'm like, shit, I don't know how to
I have to fix it
up.
I
have to fix it right now. Can't be writing the entire dissertation again. But I think that comes in very handy because a lot of students essentially would find this tool pretty useful. I think in terms of, as I mentioned right earlier, in terms of a lot of tools out there, how do you essentially search for the best tool for one particular domain? Say there's graphic designing, there's video editing, again, safety, security issues, so many of them. I might come across Simplified, I'll use it. In fact, I have used it.
Yeah.
But what about, how can the customer really...
See, online reputation is a big thing, right? And I think that's the only way to figure this out today, at least for now, right? So first thing is sign up for all these tools and use like sample data for testing it out. See it yourself without giving your personal information to test it out. So step 1, sign up for free tools. Step 2, use dummy data to test them out. Step 3, you should go online and check for reviews and ratings. This is the number one thing you can do actually. And really see if these people who are writing reviews are legit or not.
Yeah.
So click on some profiles. If you go to G2 and you see the reviews, you can actually click on someone's profile. If they're LinkedIn, you can actually, oh wow, they actually have a job. They work here. Legit people writing legit reviews actually. And you're really skeptical, then you can even reach out to them, right, as a courtesy and say, hey, you know what, I'm really considering to work, using this tool. Would you mind giving like your feedback? Are you using it? Do you like it? Blah blah blah. Keep it very basic and very simple. Think as basic as you can, and just like use your own judgment and research to use a tool that you think might be a good fit.
Interesting. Last couple of questions. Should founders work on their personal brands? A lot of founders, essentially early stage founders, are very much keen on building their products and building their startups, and essentially miss out on this one very important aspect, which is personal branding.
Yeah.
Should founders work on their personal brands? Because you've built your LinkedIn extensively. I've followed your LinkedIn content. I've followed your Twitter content. So much content that you've been putting out extensively, right? What's your base behind why are you building a personal brand on LinkedIn and Twitter?
I mean, I say if you don't have a personal brand, you do not exist.
Yeah.
So you should be building your personal brand. Absolutely, yes. Do it from day one. I think the thing is, as entrepreneurs, what you have to realize and accept, most companies are going to fail. Bottom line, period. So that means if the company goes away, no one knows you because they knew the company because you build a brand for the company. So I'd rather prefer you building your brand and I'm building my brand as an individual who has something to offer of value actually to this world, to the community. And once you do that, you align with this sort of community that actually is there to support, is there to believe, they're your cheerleaders, they're the support system you've never had before. So once you do that stuff, your personal brand goes beyond this follower base and likeness of something. I think it's more than that. I think it's more around, am I adding value? Am I receiving value? Are we here together to build something really, really big for everyone? Like that's the concept of, I think, personal branding for myself. So now, no matter what company I build and what happens to the company, my brand is alive and thriving. And now, because of their brand, I can actually launch any company I want to because I can find the user base.
Cool. I think Ajay, we've spoken extensively about AI. We've gone very technical about it. I don't want to end on this note. I want to end on a little chill note. When do you get married?
Oh, wow. That is personal. Roughly 4 years ago.
Exact date, Ajay.
2019. I've had multiple weddings, so it's hard to pin one date.
Okay.
So I had a wedding, because I had a wedding in the US and the Christian wedding, and I had the wedding in India as the Hindu wedding. So that's why.
Where'd you meet your better half?
I met my beautiful wife in New York actually, and wow, I never talk about this kind of stuff, but I'll tell you my pickup line. That is,
go for it. Go for it.
She, I think, I was a nerdy dude. I used to wear the same shirt. I had this red check mark shirt, and I showed up and I said, "Wow, you're taller than me." It's the worst pickup line.
And that worked?
I think she said this. He's nerdy and acting stupid, but I think let's see where this goes.
I think he's honest about it.
And yeah, she was definitely. I'm grateful for that. She's giving me a chance actually, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Rest is history. Yeah.
What's that one complaint that she has from you?
I work too much, and I think now I've come to a place in my life where I think I used to think that, and this is the one mistake that we're going personal now, guys make. I do think that men have, I think, somehow lost the value of a partner in their life, and whatever the other half looks like, whatever you believe in. For me, it's like her. Is that I think I'm as successful as someone who's as successful behind me. I think I'm because of my wife has pushed me so much, and I'm grateful for that. I think the ability to get out of my head. Men can think work is everything. I'm gonna conquer the world. Fuck everything. Fuck relationships. I don't have time for you. You can't do this in a relationship. If you're gonna say yes to a relationship, you're gonna say yes to I have time for you. It doesn't work any other way, because then you're saying I'm gonna abuse you as long as I can. I'm gonna build what the heck I have to, and you can stay with me and just hang around and see if I'm actually gonna be around for you. That is the worst way to build a relationship, and I think I'm guilty of that myself. But I learned this the hard way, that what it is. I am committed to this beautiful relationship I have, and I'm not chasing something. I think I've stopped chasing something like I'm chasing $1 billion idea, or $100 billion company, even though we want to build that, I haven't stopped being ambitious. There's a difference in chasing and being ambitious. We are very ambitious. We want to build a company used by hundreds of millions of people, worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But I'm not chasing that. I'm waking up every single day and I'm living my life and I'm doing my job to the best I can. And with high intensity, still realizing I have a family that I'm supposed to spend time with and be there for them, for myself. So that's something that she has taught me. So whatever I've said, it's not me. It's because she has taught me these values. I think she's brought the best out of me and is still pushing me hard to, like, my health. Like, you'll die one day and I'll be young and beautiful and I'll enjoy all the hard work that we both have done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. So I'll just be old dude with nothing, right? So like, if you want to enjoy the same thing with me, then you better take care of your health, right? So I think that's what I'm focusing on.
Sweet. What kind of sports do you like?
I used to play soccer growing up, so I used to love that a lot, And badminton that no one plays in the US, by the way. Cricket.
Do you want to play a game of badminton? When do you leave Mumbai?
I leave tomorrow, man. Next time? Maybe I beat your ass, I'm kidding.
We'll see.
I was really good at badminton, but I think now I'm learning how to play tennis, actually.
Okay.
Tennis is the only one, actually. And actually, I've been back to skating. I was really good at roller skates growing up. And maybe a month ago, we ended up going to a roller skating ring in LA. And funny enough, I was like, I have my skates on. I'm like thinking, how do you stop? What happens to you? How does your leg do? How do you move? Like, literally, I'm thinking, and I haven't done this, by the way, in maybe 17 or 8, I think 20 years, actually.
Wow.
And somehow the body remembers. The muscle has the muscle memory, actually. And I was fine. I was swinging through it, man. I was having all the fun in the world. I was just a little kid in a ring, actually, and I loved it. So I think I'm going back to roller skates and actually be a kid again, in some places, wherever I can.
Sweet. What was your favorite cartoon TV show growing up?
Shit, there were so many. I can't remember, but I think, of course, Tom and Jerry, right? Of course, you can't miss that one. But what is it? Not the...
Do you like Pokemon?
No. I don't know. I don't remember those days, actually. No, I don't remember that. I was more into these, like, the... man, what is that? The Planet Earth thing. These 4 people come together, make this... I don't know, the guy, the superhero. Remember this?
Is it Power Rangers?
That was the one. I love Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
But this Captain Planet something, actually. He would save the planet, this fire, then earth, then air. That was a good one, actually. And then Scooby-Doo, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a good one, yeah.
Sweet. Ajay, it's been a fantastic conversation. I think what the audience, especially me and the audience who've enjoyed the conversation through and through, what you're trying to build is something phenomenal. As a creator myself, I can vouch for it because, as you mentioned, right, just hopping on through platforms and doing a bunch of things here and there. If we get a platform where we do everything on one platform, that too for free, I think we just need to make use of the platform, use it through and through, and probably make full use of it. Thank you so much for being on the Chill Hour. I hope you had a good time. Your final thoughts on the podcast, how you felt about it, and just final thoughts for the audience watching the episode.
I mean, thank you for having me. This was fun. And I think only thing I can say is that, I believe in playing the long game. So one thought I can leave you with is whenever you make a decision in life and whenever you think about, like, what should I do, take the hard path and play the long game. I think whenever you can decide, like, hey, you know what, I'll post content today without thinking what happens tomorrow or in a month or in a year. I'll think about, like, 5 years. So I should do it because I'm going to reap the benefits in 5 years. So I think if you play the long game, you'll get somewhere. And that's what I've been doing for the past 20 years now. And I feel like I still have a long way to go, but I enjoy the journey of playing the long game.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Ajay, for doing this. I hope you had a chill hour.
It was a very chill hour. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching the episode. Please You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. We'll put Ajay's socials and everything, Simplified socials and everything in the description. Probably use Simplified itself to write a description for us and a thumbnail and everything else. But if you are still watching, I'm assuming you also have a lot of time in hand. Just like the episode, comment, drop a comment, and shut YouTube and get back to work. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. It's been a pleasure. And thank you so much, Ajay, for doing
Thank
this.
you. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.